Yes guys, what is up? Welcome to Supercars of London in a loud car park a stone's throw away from R44 Performance. We are still in Wembley. This is the IKEA car park, but it is dead. So I've bought the Supra here to check it out under more natural light because we're going to take it out and I'm going to be driving home and sharing with you my first drive in the 480 brake horsepower Stage 2 Toyota Supra. And outside the R44 showroom, it just looks stunning. I think the road presence of this, we are looking at a future classic already. I think the design is quirky, it's not classy, they've not been chasing an AMG GTS. It looks how I think a Toyota Supra, we will look back on this car in 10, 15, 20 years time, and with all of the modifications that are going to be possible with this car, I will get onto my thoughts on it when we start driving. But visually, I love the look of this thing, and R44 do such a great job of just giving it a more accentuated look from factory. The carbon kit, the spacers, the stance of this. Look at these rear wheels with the side skirts. That is just the coolest thing. I'm actually going to prop my camera down, start it up, get the GoPros running, and then we're going to be heading home and welcoming the Supra to the Supercars of London garage. Welcome to the cabin of the Toyota Supra GR 3-litre Pro, GR Pro. And inside, as I'm sure you are familiar with this car, it's relatively familiar within the BMW world. Now, I've owned BMW M3 and M2 competition, so it's quite nice to be in a car that feels familiar in terms of the infotainment system, the way that all of these buttons work down here. It's a nice touch that actually, if Toyota went and created their own interior, probably wouldn't be as good as the BMW. As we know, the Germans do it pretty well, and that is why I believe Toyota have used the platform and the engine to develop the new Supra. In my opinion, Toyota's role is to create the perfect foundation for modifiers and aftermarket companies to then add their own character and personality to their car. Now, when they launched the GR Yaris, they actually sent their own press car around tuning companies in the UK to work their own magic and have time to work on providing an option for customers to tune their cars, and they did it with the Toyota Supra as well. And here we have a 480 brake horsepower Stage 2 decatted Supra that I don't know how low it is. Is this going to scrape? No. Reese was right. RSQ3 Sport back there, that is really smart. Reese did say that this new front splitter is for a daily driver, and I just got over that speed bump with with ease. So we're gonna make our way back home, which is up the M1, and then I'm gonna turn off the M1 one junction early, which gives me the opportunity to hit some country roads to experience this car, because rear wheel drive, short wheelbase, it's quite cramped in the cabin, but not too bad. I just can't really lift my elbow up here and cruise like this. But my first impressions of the ride quality, pretty good. Firm, but not wobbly and bouncy, and it's definitely tolerable. Steering feels sharp. The front end feels nimble and ready to go. I have no idea what this right pedal is going to feel like when I put my foot down, but I'm really excited to hear what the carbon intake up front will do to the interior noise cabin. And I think Toyota with the Supra have provided the perfect platform, albeit slightly BMW, and I think visually it's quirky enough to feel different. and I like the look of it. And this auto gearbox, I'm in 7th gear. Just feels really low down in the revs. Let's see what the exhaust feel. Oh, I don't know whether you could hear that, but my first squeeze of the throttle with very little power input whatsoever, I could hear that intake up front. Oh, I can't wait to get off this road. This is the worst road in London, the North Circular. It's so boring. Once we get off this road, we've got to blast up the M1 and then we're going to hit some country roads. So my first impressions as a smooth daily driver, thumbs up. Here we go, first proper acceleration. I tell you what, there are elements of the exhaust that actually sound louder at lower revs. So if that actually sounds louder, that when you build up through the revs, the engine has got such a smooth tone to it. It feels really nice, it feels really progressive. This tune is... Can you hear the turbo intakes? There's so much going on, I don't even know where to focus my ears, even if that's a thing. Low down in the revs, 5th gear. Oh, you've got like a blow-off valve, you've got this build-up of turbo whooshing coming from the front, and then as you lift off, there are a lovely amount of burbles, not too many. Like Reece said, they've engineered this tune to not be obnoxious and aggressive, and it's a really, really nice balance. A few burbles on the overrun, but that's it, not all the way down the revs. Downshifts? Not many at all. Oh, this is a proper cool car. I can see why all of the guys at R44 love this thing. Now, I think they drive this a little bit differently to how I've been driving it, but this is my first drive. Oh my God, it's so fast. I think the size of this car helps it. I feel like I'm sat so low to the ground. I look out the window, the road is literally right there, and the weight of it is making a huge difference to the acceleration. I've pretty much come straight from Dubai, which I was driving Black Badge Ghost, which is an incredibly heavy car, where they're pushing the torque so low down in the rev range to try and shed as much weight as possible to make you feel like it's an incredibly fast car, and it is. It's got loads of power. This hasn't got a dissimilar amount of power. Oh, this is putting a smile on my face. This is putting a smile on my face. I think this car's great. And going back to what I was saying about how Toyota have built the foundation, they knew that they didn't need to build the finished article. They didn't need to finish the Supra. All they needed to do was provide the tools so the aftermarket tuning companies could then make the Supra into an icon, like what happened with the original, with the Classic. Toyota built that car as a great sports car, but it only became an icon once people started boosting the power, engine swapping, pushing body kits through the car, aftermarket wheels, and then obviously with the help of the Fast and the Furious franchise, it's made it into the icon that it is today. And this has all of the ingredients to be a future classic. So going back to the beginning of the video where I punctually said that this is what a Supra is going to be in 10-15 years time, we're looking at a future classic because it's got quirky looks. It doesn't look like anything else out there on the road. Toyota have handpicked the best bits from BMW to start with. They've built the foundations that then us, the petrol heads and the car community, then take and accentuate and put our own personality twists on it to bring that Supra to the icon of what is going to be the next 10 to 15 years. Toyota know what they're doing, And I think anyone that drove the standard Supra, which I still haven't, by the way, I'm just taking people's word for it. People that drove the standard Supra were like, it's great, it's a little bit soft, it's fast, it just doesn't have that character that we expect from a Supra. And in fact, what you have to do is do what this car has, everything, and then put your own twist on it, change the color, have a more aggressive front lip, have a bigger rear wing, whatever you want to do. The Supra is your blank canvas, and what R44 Performance have done is near on kind of what I would want to do and how I would want my Supra to look like. And with this power as well, it's going to be one hell of an adventure. So ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've enjoyed this first look at the Supra and my impressions and experience of a first drive in a stage 2 480 brake horsepower Supra. And by the way, even though Reese bought the cheapest Supra in the UK, yes, I know used car prices have gone absolutely mental, but this feels tight. I didn't know what I was going to expect with the modifications, you never know, but this is tight. This is properly good. So big thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you can look forward to the Supra adventures. Next stop, we're putting this car on a dyno. I want to see exactly how much power it's running. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.